Can I ask for a raise after covering for remote coworkers for over a year? I'm an admin who's been working on site since March 2020. My coworkers were supposed to all return to the office at the same time, but for various reasons, medical, childcare-related, etc., none of them returned on a full-time basis except for me. I don't have the same role as they do, as theirs are specialized, but have been covering some of the tasks in the office they used to do. I was asked at first, and then over time it became expected. It's been over a year, and I'm still covering the extra work, except it's gotten worse. We've had some personnel changes and someone else is on maternity leave, so I am now covering tasks for the worker on leave and helping to train new hires, all in addition to my main duties and the ones that fell to me in the wake of everyone being remote during the pandemic. I've spoken to my boss multiple times about the workload since the beginning of the year and asked to work out a plan to offload some of the responsibilities. She is sympathetic and says she is trying to find a way to lighten the workload, but she also doesn't have a plan to bring people back or redistribute the work at this point. Is it reasonable to ask for a raise or to negotiate some other perk as someone who has been on site and working and covering other people's work for more than a year? I am supportive of people working from home if that's what they need, but most of my coworkers cannot do 100% of their jobs from home, and me continuing to take on other people's tasks in the office is becoming almost another full-time job in addition to my own role. If there are no plans to change this, I'd like to at least be compensated for the additional work and the time I've spent trying to keep the department running in the office. Update 1. There have been a lot of recent developments at my work in the months since I've written to you, and I finally have an update to share. I took your advice and had multiple conversations with my boss about the tasks I had taken on and how the workload could be more equally distributed and what could be done to have my compensation reflect the increasing responsibility I had taken on. My boss did what she could to redistribute tasks and even took on some herself so that I could get a breather, so for a while I was staying sort of afloat. And then another coworker left. Things escalated quickly. I ended up taking on his responsibilities while keeping up my own workload along with the extraneous tasks I had been doing while management searched for a permanent replacement. I was working ridiculous hours and doing what I could to keep everything going and secretly getting my resume together to start looking for another job. I genuinely enjoyed my job, and even learning other elements of other roles, I just couldn't keep up with the workload anymore. Then last week my boss and her boss asked to meet with me. I didn't know what the meeting was for, so was pretty floored when they told me that they recognized how hard I'd been working, how much I had done for the department, and that they were going to promote me. I wasn't expecting this at all, and was in shock because this type of praise isn't often given at my organization. They went even further and told me they were making me a manager and gave me an over $15,000 raise. They permanently reassigned some of the tasks I had been doing around the office, adjusted some of the workflows, and also let me customize the new role to my skills by letting go of some old tasks and picking up new ones I enjoyed. With the new workflows and people slowly coming back in the office, plus we have a new person on the team and the changes my boss has made to my workload, it has been much more manageable. I am enjoying my job so much more and am finding a lot of ways to grow in my new role. I never expected this outcome or this level of support from my supervisors. I've worked at such toxic places in the past that it honestly didn't occur to me that the situation would ever improve. I can't thank you enough for your response to my original letter and to the commenters who left such kind words when they were needed. Update 2. It's been 3 years since I last sent an update. I'm still working for the same organization and the same boss, yet so much has happened since then, both personally and professionally. Not long after I wrote into you for the second time, a member of my immediate family had a series of serious medical emergencies that resulted in some pretty scary moments over the course of a year. I was the primary caretaker, so ironically, I was the one now working remotely quite a bit during this time to deal with it all. While I made every effort to be on top of my work and to not overwhelm those in office, my boss and colleagues could not have been more supportive and willing to help with anything I needed. My boss constantly checked in because she didn't want me overworked or overwhelmed, and we had many conversations on what I needed. They gave me the flexibility to do my work yet focus on being there for my loved ones and make some challenging decisions. I cannot express how much easier this made my life when I wasn't at 100%. It really goes to show how much that flexibility and support for everyone in the workplace is needed, and how it can benefit everyone no matter where you are in life or what your situation is. I'm so fortunate to say that after many months, my family member is now doing much better. Over the last couple of years, I also received additional raises, really wonderful reviews from my boss, and additional promotions. This all culminated with me being awarded an industry recognition last month, one that my boss nominated me for along with other higher-ups in our organization. I was, and am still in shock. I've never had my work recognized to this degree before, so this is new and very humbling for me. Don't get me wrong, my job, boss, and company are far from perfect. But I realize how extremely lucky I am to have a reasonable, supportive boss and coworkers and flexibility in my job, especially when so many are facing challenges in the job market today. I'm grateful for that and for Allison's advice to keep speaking up to let people know what you need. Here's to positive updates for everyone here for current and future jobs.